Good evening, you're watching Independent News. I'm Adam Dawler. Before we go into the stories for the evening, let me give you a hint on a couple of the headlines. The World Bank says that the construction of the Podda Bridge and the review of the alleged corruption probe will continue simultaneously. The Meghna and the Meghna-Gumati bridges on the Dhaka-Chittagong highway are still at risk, although the bridges were repaired in 3 phases. The government has failed to provide any new gas connections in the last 3 years, although BAPEX has discovered 6 fields during this period. The World Bank has said that the construction of the Podda Bridge and the review of the alleged corruption probe will continue simultaneously. Country Director of the global lender, Ellen Goldstein, confirmed this at a press conference in the capital today. She also said that the project implementation panel of the World Bank will visit Dhaka soon. We're supposed to have a little story on that. It should be coming on in a second. Apparently we have a technical problem, so I'll go on to the next item. Azam Khan, the driver of the former APS of Suranjit Sengupta, did not appear before the Anti-Corruption Commission today, even though the Commission had summoned him. The Anti-Corruption Commission summoned Azam through a letter on Thursday. Earlier, ACC Chairman Ghulam Rahman vowed to ensure Azam Khan's security if he appeared. Ghulam Rahman hoped that the driver could provide information on alleged corruption in the Railways Ministry. He also warned that action will be taken against the driver if he does not respond to the ACC notice. Driver Azam Khan had gone into hiding after 7 million taka were found in a car owned by Suranjit's former APS, Omar Farooq. The International Crimes Tribunal will decide on charge framing against Abul Kalam Azad, also known as Bachchu Razakar, on the 1st of November. The 3-member tribunal, headed by Justice A.T. M. Fazli Kabir, set the date on completion of indictment hearing today. The prosecution has brought 10 charges of war crimes against Azad, which include massacre, looting, arson and forced conversion to Islam. Prosecutor Shahidul Islam said that Azad was a high school student in Faridpur, where he worked as an assistant to Ali Ahsan Mohammed Mujahid. Ahsan is being tried in absentia as he fled the country in April. Bangladesh signed 3 bilateral instruments with China today for strengthening economic and technical collaboration in different areas, including the power sector. The instruments are an agreement on economic and technical cooperation, a memorandum of understanding on strengthening cooperation in the field of electric power, and a framework agreement on a concessional loan provided by China to Bangladesh. Economic Relations Division's Senior Secretary Iqbal Mahmood, the Power Division Secretary Abul Kalam Azad, and the Chinese Vice Minister of Commerce Jiang Chengwei signed the instruments at the Prime Minister's office. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was present during the signing of the instruments. China has shown interest in financing a deep seaport in the Bay of Bengal and also the second Podda Bridge in Bangladesh. It also wants to develop road and rail links between Chittagong in Bangladesh and Kunming in China. Li Changcheng, a Politburo member of the Communist Party of China, expressed his country's interest during a meeting with BNP chief Khalida Zia in Dhaka today. BNP Vice Chairman Shamser Mobeen Chaudhry briefed the media after the meeting. He said China is ready to provide economic and technical support for Sonadia deep sea port. Shamser Mobeen said China will soon talk to Myanmar to set up a road and rail link between Bangladesh and China via Myanmar. The World Bank has said that the construction of the Podda Bridge and the review of the alleged corruption probe will continue simultaneously. Country Director of the global lender Ellen Goldstein confirmed this at a press conference in the capital today. She also said that the project implementation panel of the World Bank will visit Dhaka soon.
The press conference was organized to brief on the economic situation of Bangladesh. On the Podda Bridge project, Ellen Goldstein said that the review of the alleged corruption probe and the implementation of the project will go concurrently.
Investigative process, which could last for quite some time, of course, and bridge implementation occurring on parallel tracks. Now, that doesn't mean that we have specific dates already assigned for when every visit will be occurring. It just means that progress will be made on both fronts simultaneously.
On the economic situation of the country, the World Bank says that it is not possible for the country to achieve the 7.2% growth rate projected in the budget. Rather, the Washington-based global lender projects the growth to be around 6%.
এই 6% প্রবৃদ্ধি যদি অর্জিত হয়,
according to the IMF's World Economic Outlook projection, if Bangladesh can achieve 6% growth, it will be among the 35 countries with the highest growth rate. If we can secure a place in the list of top 35 among 150 countries, can we call it a sound growth?
প্রথম 35টি দেশের মধ্যে থাকতে পারি, এটাকে যদি স্বাস্থ্যকর না বলি তাহলে কাকে স্বাস্থ্যকর বলবো?
However, the World Bank fears that any political turmoil centering the upcoming general election may take a heavy toll on the country's economy.
As I said earlier, the World Bank has said that the construction of the Podda Bridge and the review of the alleged corruption probe will continue simultaneously. There's a report on that.
These two bridges are still at high risk, although they were repaired in 3 phases. The repairing was done from the 1st of September to the 7th of September, then on the 6th of October, and finally last night. But despite the renovation, the major problem remains unsolved. The plying of overloaded vehicles could not be checked. In 2011, an excess load control center was set up at the Daudkandi toll plaza to check the plying of overloaded vehicles across the bridges. But the overloaded vehicles queue up on both sides of the 2 bridges during daytime and manage permission at night in exchange for bribes.
They say that you have to pay more as you are taking more goods.
I first paid 100 taka. They asked for more documents. When I paid 500 taka, they allowed my vehicle to cross the bridge.
An official at the excess load control center also acknowledged these irregularities, but he denied his involvement with these irregularities.
A group of local people are trying to do business here. That's why we seek everyone's cooperation. We give permission only if the weight is within the permissible limit.
Both bridges will be repaired again in November, but this official thinks that such a repair will be of no use until the plying of overloaded vehicles is halted.
Homebound passengers remain stuck in a 45-kilometer tailback from Daudkandi to Burichang on the Dhaka-Chittagong highway. Police said that the huge rush of passengers ahead of Eid al-Fitr and Durga Puja caused the traffic congestion. Among the factors that contributed to the traffic jam were a government directive to drive slowly on the Meghna and the Meghna-Gumati bridges and road construction materials lying on the highway. Passengers on the Dhaka-Tangail and the Dhaka-Mymensingh highways also faced tailbacks. In other news, the Bangladesh Petroleum Exploration Company, or BAPEX, has discovered 6 gas fields over the last 3.5 years. With these discoveries, the country's proven gas reserves have increased by 3.5 trillion cubic feet. Despite the rise in production by 550 million cubic feet per day, the government did not provide any new gas connections in the last 3 years. Experts blame the demand-supply gap for this. Here's the story.
Petrobangla claims that 3.5 TCF more gas reserves were found in the last 3.5 years through the 3-dimensional seismic survey. With that discovery, the total gas reserves of the country have increased to 21 TCF. As Sundarpur and Shemutang fields start supplying gas to the national grid alongside other fields, the daily production increased to 2,287 million cubic feet, from 1,733 million cubic feet. But despite the rise in production, many power plants were closed due to gas crisis. The government couldn't even restart providing gas connections to factories and houses.
Different sectors have witnessed growth. To cope up with the growth, we are trying to reduce the demand-supply gap. It's a government decision to halt new gas connections for domestic use.
Russian company Gazprom was given the charge of drilling 10 wells by 2014 with the aim to increase gas production. Besides this, the Baypex will drill 5 exploration and 15 development wells. However, energy experts think that these wells will not be enough to fulfill the growing gas demand in 2015.
These wells are not new discoveries. These are mostly confirmation of gas reserves found earlier. The newly discovered gas reserves are insignificant. They will not help us a lot.
He also stressed on specifying sectors for gas use to avoid further crisis.
We have seen how oil-based power plants have affected the economy. So there is no chance to increase oil-based plants. If the government plans gas-based power plants in the future, the crisis will never be over.
Experts said that the growing gas crisis can be mitigated if LNG is imported, alongside exploring new gas fields and establishing coal-based power plants.
We'll take a short break now. Coming up after this break are some of these stories. Dexamethasone steroid and other medicines are widely used to fatten sacrificial animals. Veterinarians say that these medicines are hazardous to human health. The Bengali Hindu community celebrates Maha Saptami, the second day of Durga Puja, through the worshipping of goddess Durga early morning. Welcome back, you're watching Independent News. A delegation of the Communist Party of China, or CPC, called on President Zilur Rahman at Bongo Bhavan in Dhaka this noon. The CPC Politburo Standing Committee delegation was led by 5th-ranked member Lee Chang-chung. Business and trade relations and possibilities of strengthening existing relations between the two countries came up for discussion during the meeting. The delegation is on a 3-day visit to Dhaka. They previously called on Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. With that, I'll hand over to my colleague Adnan Hussain, who's going to bring you further news. Adnan, Eid coming up, Durga Puja, lots of excitement.
Price hikes.
Price hikes, there you go.
Absolutely.
Well, you've got your handful to give to the public this evening.
Sure, thank you. Information Minister Hassanul Haq Inu has warned that no one will be allowed to do the cable operating business without license. He issued the warning at a meeting with the cable operators in Dhaka today.
I would request unauthorized cable operators to stop their business. If any cable operator shows obscene films or unauthorized channels, we will be compelled to take legal action against them.
Sacrificial animals are coming to the cattle market in the capital from different parts of the country. However, the markets are yet to draw the much crowd. Cattle traders say that it will take 2 to 3 more days to draw crowds. Customers haven't yet started visiting the cattle markets in the city, but hundreds of sacrificial animals are being brought to the markets every day. People who visited different markets in the capital today said the prices of the sacrificial animal are a bit higher this year than the previous year. 15 camels have been brought from Rajasthan of India to Gaptoli cattle market. Over 1 million taka is being claimed for each of the camels. However, none of the camels has yet been sold. Sellers expect that the camels will be on high demand and they will be sold before Eid. Meanwhile, law enforcers have taken adequate measures to prevent spread of fake currency notes and unwarranted incidents. Dexamethasone steroid is widely used to fatten sacrificial animals, mostly cattle. A few other medicines are also used to inflate animal bodies. Meats from the cattle on steroids may affect our health.
Normally, it takes 4 to 6 months to make a cow healthy, whereas steroids or other medicines only take 2 or 3 months to fatten cows. For hefty business, some cattle traders are adopting this strategy.
Some traders feed the cows Indian tablets. We feed cows some Indian tablets which make them healthy in a short time.
Most of the drugs that are used to fatten cows are illegal, yet these medicines are being sold openly almost everywhere. Many businessmen are not aware that these medicines or steroids are injurious to health. The civil surgeon of Khulna says that the meat of the steroid-treated cows is harmful to health.
Meat from steroid-treated cows may cause different diseases. It may cause kidney failure, blood pressure, and asthma-related problems.
Veterinarians say that steroids are also bad for animal health. If steroid-treated cows are not slaughtered within 3 months of injecting the medicine, the animal may die from poisoning.
Today is Mahasaptami, the second day of Durga Puja, the biggest religious festival of the Bengali Hindu community. The Mahasaptami began through the worshipping of goddess Durga early morning with the incantation of mantras. Devotees took part in the puja supplication wearing traditional dresses. According to the Hindu mythology, goddess Durga descends on earth on the occasion at the invocation and supplication of devotees to destroy evil forces. The 5-day festival will end on the 24th of October with the immersion of idols in the rivers or other water bodies. Commerce Minister G.M. Kadir has expressed concern over the price hike of prices ahead of Eid. The minister said that consumer rights protection committees have been instructed to probe into the matter and to find out the reason behind the price hike. The minister also directed the authorities concerned to take action against the people involved in the malpractice. The minister informed journalists of the capital today.
We have committees in every district to protect consumer rights. They have been provided with all information. DCs have been allotted. We found some irregularities and we are taking steps to prevent this.
Now news on the stock market. The bench index of the Dhaka Stock Exchange registered a fall on the opening day of the week today. The prices of most shares on the country's premier bourse also declined. The DSC General Index shed 11 points to stand at 4,447 at the end of the day's trading. Of the 264 issues traded, 189 declined, 67 advanced, and 17 remained unchanged. Shares in mutual funds, units worth 3.87 billion taka, changed hands on the bourse. On Thursday, the key index dropped 1.76 points to finish at 4,458. That's all from me. Back to you, Adam.
Well, let's see what we've got. I believe there's an update here for our viewers.